Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Okay, I will tell you about one of the local museum in the Jambi area. A barriers of Jambi. A part of the Malay community which generally belong to the ethnic groups of the people on the islands of Sumatra. Jambi people have long been known as a society that has culture and tradition. This tradition is mainly related to nature, which is an integral part of Jambi society. The daily of the Jambi people cannot be separated from nature, especially with the various natural resources that exist in this area. One Jambi community that has a strong tradition is Tabir Ilir, who several years ago switched from Tabir. The tradition of the common people are also referred to as indigenous knowledge, which can simply be defined as cultural knowledge. Cultural knowledge processed by certain communities, which includes a number of cultural knowledge relates to models of custom, values, and management of natural resources. 1. At first glance. At first glance, localism has indeed been buried along with the invasion of capitalism that his every aspect of people lives in the name of development in the past. Localism that areas in them of religious, magical, beliefs and customary roles. 2. Whereas in the present context, local knowledge is no longer regarded as superstition, but has stark in humility and the need to learn from a community before we teach them. Next, 3. However, in fact, local wisdom does not only concern local communities' knowledge of the natural resources around them, but also relates to their lives. 1. Lubuk Karangan. Lubuk Karangan is form of local wisdom passed down by our ancestors in the water sector rivers that exist in Sumatran society in general and in Sabir in particular. This is done by establishing certain zones along the river flow where no people are allowed to carry out any activity in the place. All resources that exist in test zones such as fish banned for use by the public, except at certain times have been set in the context of the Tabir Ilir community. Lubuk Larangan is only 2 parts of the river which are considered to have abundant fish resources. Namely, parts of the river that have more depth than other in the local language, it is known as lubuks. In order to keep this local wisdom, I live in the community. 40 house mites were created which aim to keep people out those zones. The myths that usually arises is that those to charge fish in that place will be stricken with insanity and those who eat them will have a stomach and is a kind of the spirit who always looks after them. The existing resource in Lubuk Karangan can only be utilized by the community at certain specific times usually the time to have first the Lubukerangan. Resources is one on the celebration of Eid al-Fitr, where the community together take the feast in it and share it. The zoning of Lubukerangan has been proven to be able to prevent the river from being threatened with degradation. It has recently been rampant in addition. Economically, the community is also helped by the harvest of Lubukerangan, which can be consumed by the community after the EAT celebration. 2. Inheritance gathering or kumpul waris. Kumpul waris is a local wisdom or tradition related to marriage. In the Jambi Ilir community, which come from the two words kumpul and inheritance. Gathering is collection or collection will harass our family or people who have conceived. The gathering of inheritance is carried out head of the marriage of Sam when in this area, which is carried out by inviting family and people who are related to the future bride and groom. However, today the waris gathering tradition is not only carried out by gathering people who are related to the bride and groom, but also all the people who live and are in the village. This change occurred because the villager is in longer consisted only of people who were related. After the invitation together, a notification is made about the prospective bride and grooms. Wedding plans in this event also explained about the prospective bride's family background, education, and so on. Furthermore, the invitations, especially those with the closest friendship, convert the planned timing of the wedding so that it could be adjusted with wedding plans in the village. Finally, this is the core of the kumpul waris tradition, which is the provided financial assistance as much as possible to preserve by the family of the prospective bride and the groom in the wedding exchange. 3. Co-op. Co-op is a local wisdom that exists in the Jambi Ilir community which is related to teenager relationship or love affair. The tradition is to marry of two adolescents of different types who are preferred to have met in stern, lonely, isolation, that plus without being accompanied by anyone other. Then two of them go. Tradition is to marry off two adolescents of different types who are proven to have met and strength. Goal is then to keep the love affairs, courtship carried out by teenagers in the village within the corridor of local rules that come from Islamic teaching. When someone finds a teenager meeting, let alone doing something that is prohibited by religion, in a quiet and dark place, he will arrest both of them and take their belongings, then take them to the imam's house of the villager mosque, a proof that they have been coerced. Furthermore, the Imam Masjid will inform the families of the two teenagers about the event and prepare for the wedding. Most of the gawals events or watch culminates in marriage. Although it is not uncommon for someone to pray fine, especially because it is not approved by the family, so it does not end up in the marriage. 4. Paternal. To regulate the love affair that exists between two people in Jambi, there is a local wisdom called paternal. This tradition in other terminology is known as apel or nyapel, which is a visit by a young man to the home of a young woman, his girlfriend. Paternal must be done at the boyfriend's house or in the house of his immediate family with the knowledge of both parents. In the past, the paternal tradition was carried out by coming to the girlfriend's place with a variety of eating and drinking utensils such as sugar, coffee, and soy. However, surely sharing outdoor equipment is not done, much like the era of modernization that has every aspect of people's life. However, one thing that characterizes Patandang always remains, namely singing in several places in Tabernacle. A man who is going to visit his girlfriend has to carry rhymes to the house and continues later by replying to each other. After the rhymes is finished, then the boyfriend is allowed his family to meet and chat with the guests who came.